Ladies and gentlemen, please make very welcome Kate Norris.
I'm 21 and I'm standing in my house, breathing in paint fumes, thinking that I have never, ever been so proud of myself in my entire life. Just a couple of weeks earlier, I'd bought that house and it was pretty crappy. I mean, I was 21 and not earning that much money, so actually it was really crap. And part of the reason that made it so terrible was the walls in the kitchen, lounge, dining area were this kind of mossy sea pastel green. But then most of it was peeling, but then it had about 6 patches. There was like a pink and a cream and a white and a yellow of people who had kind of bought sample paint and done a patch, but then never actually continued with any of the colours. And so I knew that the first thing that I had to do was paint. So my dad had died about 2 years earlier, and I was so determined that this was the thing that I was going to do by myself. I was going to be a proper adult, and I was not going to ask for help, even though I knew that I had family members and realistically friends' dads that would have come running in a heartbeat. So I watched YouTube videos for about a week on how to paint. And I went to Bunnings, I got all my kit, got it all sorted, and I bought a big tin of paint from the bargain bin that had been discarded by people who could afford things like colour choice. And I started painting, and in the kitchen there was a phone port where you plug in like your home phone. And I thought, it's 2009, like nobody has a home phone anymore. So I looked up a YouTube video on how to get rid of the phone port. And it said to punch it out, and looking back, I realised that they probably mean with like a hammer or something, but I literally just punched it. And it really hurt. And I heard it go ding, 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 all in the wall, and it fell to the ground, and then I had a hole in the wall. So again, another YouTube video. I got a piece of cardboard and poked a hole in it and put a string in it. And then you thread that through the hole in the wall, and you use the string to kind of hold it against the hole, and then you can plaster over it. And then you snip the string off, and then you sand it, and you plaster it, and you sand it, and you plaster it, until it's really nice and smooth. So I did that. And then I painted over it, and I was unbelievably proud because you couldn't even tell where the phone port had been. So I'm standing around looking at this beautifully painted house, feeling so proud of myself. And then I looked at the next thing that was on my list of things to do for my house, and the next was to connect the internet. So the Telstra man came out, and the first thing he says to me is, "Where's your phone port?" And I showed him, and I explained to him that nobody needs a phone port these days. And I showed him how proud I was that you couldn't even tell where the phone port had even been. So then I had to watch as a man charged me $200 to punch a hole in my freshly painted wall and install a phone port exactly where it had always been. And as I watched him do this, I thought, wow, being an adult is actually really hard.